Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Scott Kirshner. Nolan Baker, not with us this week. Chaz Price filling in. Always a pleasure to have Chaz on the show. And we've got a special guest for this segment here. But first, before we do that, let me give out the phone number, 419-794-3030. That's 419-794-3030. Online, americasretirementheadquarters.com. And before we dive right into it, Scott, I believe you had something that you had teased up previously.
Yes, I did. So I want to do a kind of a little buyer beware. This is me venting and ranting, so to speak. So one of the things, like I mentioned on the before the break, was one of the things that I do for a lot of clients is I'll actually help them sign up for Medicare. You know, they get so nervous about going online and signing up for Medicare because they're afraid if they answer the wrong question, then they're kind of locked into something that they didn't want, right? So, and I've been doing this for probably the last 3 to 5 years where I'll actually sit with them, log in, create their account, do all of that online with them side by side right here in the office, right? For some reason, and I'm not real sure why, but for some reason, the Social Security Administration office has had a lot of turnover. I understand why that is. But they must have also gotten rid of their training officer person because I have had 4 situations in the past 2 months where a client calls the Social Security Administration to check their Medicare application, right? All 4 of them said that the person at the Social Security Administration office actually withdrew their application and said they didn't fill the application online out correctly, and they'll have to either reapply. One of them doesn't have coverage until February of next year, and we applied with a July 1st for this particular person. So if any of you are experiencing any issues out there, I've got direct lines right now that I am calling. These people are really tired of hearing from me, but quite frankly, this is... it's really putting people in a really, really bad situation. You know, they blame COVID all they want. Oh, we're short-staffed, and that doesn't justify shoddy service.
Great.
I could go on and on and on about that, but I won't do that, okay? What we're here for is we want to actually reach out and talk with Mike Horvath here. So, Mike, I met your facility. You folks came out to a fundraiser that we had here. It actually wasn't really necessarily a fundraiser. It was a client appreciation, and we had your company here. And you were actually building beds right outside in the parking lot out here. We had some games. We had a couple of food trucks. We had a great time, but you guys were here, and I thought it was so cool because everybody was swarming to your area, and we're really kind of impressed with the beds that you guys were helping these kids make. And the one thing that I thought was pretty cool was they actually took a branding iron and branded the beds. So welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about what Let's Build Beds does for the community?
All right. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. So Let's Build Beds is a 501c3 organization that basically builds beds and gives them away to kids in the community that their parents or their family that they're living with can't afford to buy them a bed. So we come in and partner and with organizations to help make that possible.
That is fantastic. I know the beds were pretty cool when I saw them. Chaz, that was actually, I think, before you got here, but it was really a neat thing that you guys were doing.
Yeah, I had Mike come out and talk about Let's Build Beds at the Rotary meeting when I was, I think, president maybe a few years ago. And
oh, sure.
Yeah, so good to see it's growing and, doing great things.
So, Mike, how did you actually get involved in this organization?
Well, my wife and I, and then Dan Pelizzari, actually, we started this organization here in Northwest Ohio 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we originally took the model and learned from Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which is a national organization. But during COVID, we decided to split apart and create our own organization so that we could focus a little bit more on education.
Okay.
We work with lots of small youth groups and churches to try and help their kids get an opportunity to do the same thing that we do with the corporate entities that we work with.
There's a lot of kids, unfortunate, but there's a lot of kids out there that sleeping maybe in back of cars or on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's a shame that that's the situation.
That was really a question I had too about I know it's a great idea. What about the bed do you think it is that makes such a benefit to the child?
Well, I mean, in our experience, I mean, and you guys can probably attest to this, when you're a child and you come home from school, where's the first place you go?
Your room.
You go to your room,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And if you don't have a bed in your room, is it really your room?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You want to have that safe place, that sanctuary that you can hang out and the beds it really does give a kid a safe place,
Sure.
even in an uncertain world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, that is just really, it's really a neat thing that you guys do. If someone wants to get involved, how do they reach out to you?
The easiest way is to go actually, there's two ways. Either go to our Facebook page, which is Let's Build Beds on Facebook, or you can go to our website, which is letsbuild.org. Either way, you can connect with us either via message or you can send us an email. But we will definitely reach back out to you and help you get involved.
I think we've got some a link that's on the bottom of the screen here. So if anybody, you can check that out there as well. How often do you actually go out and build beds? I mean, do you do this? Is it a day-to-day process or you do event type stuff?
So there are events, and I chuckle a little bit because so our board sets out at the beginning of the year and decides, what our plan is for the year. And then historically, I have snuck in additional builds.
Sure.
So the plan is 2 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So basically, we're doing this at 2 different locations each month through the summer months because we're an organization that travels. We go to the location just like we did here with the retirement headquarters. We bring all the tools. We make sure that the lumber gets delivered to that location. We basically come in, set up our assembly line, train everybody, build the beds, and then we go away.
So if someone is actually in need of beds, explain the process, how this works, because I just don't know this process.
Sure.
So what if I know a needy family or someone that I know needs beds or something that can actually benefit from Let's Build Beds? How does someone reach out, or how do you find out about these people?
Yeah, so most of our requests come through Facebook. They basically, Facebook has a button at the top of the page that is a sign-up button. That redirects them to our website where we have a form. And the form automatically, basically, if they fill out the form, the information automatically goes into our database. We work on a first-come, first-served basis. There's no financial background checks or anything that's, I guess, invasive. We just ask if the child is between the ages of 3 and 17 and that they don't have a bed of their own to sleep in at night. So maybe they're sharing a bed with a sibling, or like you said, maybe they're sleeping on a car seat or whatever. We want to help them get their own bed.
So what if somebody wants to actually volunteer to help? Let's say I want to help build beds. I'm a handy guy. I love doing construction type stuff.
We'll take you.
Yeah. This isn't a bed, but I'm pretty proud of this. But on the website, on the Facebook page, is that? And will you take anybody that wants to volunteer?
Yeah. So we actually work a lot of different angles. I've got a gentleman that actually is helping us out with some odds and ends that we need. He's actually building bed rails for us because we inadvertently will end up with some lumber that comes once in a while that maybe has a split or something like that.
Sure.
So we get a little bit of inventory mismatch, and he's actually building some stuff out of his garage for us just to help us get caught up. But yeah, I'll say anybody from age 8 and up can do this.
So that's pretty awesome. I know that there were, at our event that we had here at the office, I know there was a lot of kids that were involved, and they got the biggest kick out of it, hey.
Burning stuff?
They burning stuff, yes. The smoke was flying all over the place. But, I think it's important to get the kids involved. Do you ever have kids that are in need that are going to receive a bed come and help build their own bed?
Yeah, we do from time to time.
Because that's got to be really, really building a sense of self-satisfaction for them, knowing that, hey, I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
Again, we don't we don't pry on who's there to volunteer,
sure.
but we often, after we deliver a bed, we often get that feedback that, oh, well, we're going to be able to come to this specific event, and we will see those kids at our events. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity, and they love the fact that they can give back. I mean, it's something that they appreciate what they got, and they want to help somebody else the same way.
That's awesome.
Have you ever done any custom beds? Like anybody wanted, hey, can you make this one race car or something? I don't know.
So I'll say that we, through the organization, don't do that.
Okay.
But I can tell you that we've had requests for, let's say, special beds for, let's say, autistic special needs children.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And we have delivered a few beds that are outside of our normal specs.
Gotcha.
Sure. Well, that
I
makes
don't want
sense.
to go down that road, but yeah.
Yeah.
It is a
That's
slippery
still cool.
slope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And so, do you have any upcoming events?
Yes.
Anything? When's the next event that we need to be aware of?
Well, so we actually are doing an event with the Andersons on Thursday.
Okay.
They're doing a corporate function. They're part of their 75 years of giving. They're basically giving back and doing 75 community service events. We get to be one of those.
Awesome.
So we're going to be there on the afternoon on Thursday. But our next public event is actually going to be on Saturday at Perrysburg First Church.
Okay.
Down on 2nd Street there in Perrysburg. And then Sunday, we actually have an event, which is kind of like the event that we did this Saturday. This coming Sunday, we're going to be with the children from the Bible school at Epworth Church up on Central Avenue. They, during their Sunday school, their Bible camp this summer, raised $1,300.
Wow.
And so we're coming out there and going to let those kids build the beds that they helped to fund.
Awesome. So, I know we're coming up at the end of the show here, but what is the general area that you go? I mean, do you go all over Northwest Ohio? Do you go into Southern Michigan? Or
Yep, we do a 1 hour radius. So, so basically, if you think about from where we're sitting, Defiance, Findlay, Port Clinton, and then we stay this side of Monroe because there is another nonprofit that operates in Monroe.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything down in your area down there that is similar to this?
I mean, essentially, it's not as far as just building the beds, which I think is a great cause, but like Habitat for Humanity, obviously, in Georgia, with Jimmy Carter, everything. But as far as the beds themselves, it's something that you don't necessarily think of as a luxury. But you're right. There are so many people out there who don't have them, so many kids out there who go to bed without one. And so I think it's a fantastic cause that you guys are doing.
Thanks.
100%.
Just a couple numbers for you. So in the 4 years that we've been doing this, we've delivered over 3,200 beds to kids in Northwest Ohio. And current state, we have 650 kids on our waiting list.
Wow.
So there's no lack of need.
So we need to build beds.
Yeah.
Let's get building, right?
Yeah.
How many beds would the $1,300 or the $1,300 the kids raised?
So when we deliver a bed, it's a bed frame. It's a mattress, brand new mattress, full set of sheets, pillow, and a comforter.
Wow.
And the total cost for that package is $200 per child.
That's fantastic.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I want to thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to share with us and all of our listeners and viewers out there. A definite need, and you guys are filling that need. That's why we do Committed to the 419 is to help get the word out there for people doing great things like you guys are, and we really appreciate that, and thank you very much.
Thanks for having us on.
Mike Horvath and the team at Let's Build Beds definitely committed to the 419, even though the phone number, the area code is 567. It's a technicality. 567-246-0616 is how you can reach out to them. Also, if you want to donate, whether it is your time or your treasure, go to letsbuild.org. That's the website, or go on Facebook and search for Let's Build Beds. Again, Mike Horvath, the team of Let's Build Beds, committed to the 419. Really do appreciate you coming on to the show this week. And we want to thank everybody out there for tuning in and joining us once again here on America's Retirement Headquarters. One last time, the phone number to reach out to the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, 419-794-3030. Hope you have a great week ahead of you. Hope you have a safe week ahead of you. And as we wrap up, gentlemen, I want to leave you with the final word.
Well, once again, I want to thank Chaz and Mike for joining me today. And as always, we will be on the air Saturday from noon to 1 on 1370 WSPD. And we'll hope to see you next week. And the quote of the day is, "Each day provides its own gifts." Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.